The Namesake is Mira Nar's adaptation of Jhumpa Lahiri's best-selling novel of the same name. It tells the story of two generations of a Bengali family's life as immigrants in the United States during the last 25 years of the 20th century. We meet Ashima and Ashoki as they marry and embark on their journey to New York. We follow their early experiences in America and the birth of their children, both of whom become typical American teenagers. Gogol, the son, played by Kyle Penn, has completely lost his sense of cultural Indian identity until a tragic turn of events makes him reappraise his life.
I've been thinking I'd like to change my name. Can you imagine Gogol on a resume or a business card?
Do as you wish.
I wanted to tell you something. It is about your name.
It was 1974. That's when it happened.
Do I remind you of that night?
You remind me of everything that followed. Every day since then has been a gift.
You know, Richard, this film has been praised coast to coast, and it certainly has moving parts to it, but I must say I felt that it failed. And one of the reasons that it failed was it tried to do one of the two things you can do with a novel into film, and that is to try to give you the whole book.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, I think it does. I did like this on the whole, but I think it exemplifies the kind of film where one thing happens and another thing happens and another thing happens.
Very episodic.
Yeah.
And it only has time to hit glimpses of character, glimpses of events, and you don't even realize this is Gogol's story until more than halfway through the film when he enters it.
Yeah.
And I know they're trying to get in two generations and everything like that. What Mira Nair and her screenwriter have lost is the sense of essential focus and real dramatic movement.
Something else that bothers me about this a little bit, and I do want to praise it for, you know, it's like everything else that Nair does. It's very rich, and you know, it's you know, very amusing. And very sensual. She's one of the last people I know that can really direct a love scene, for instance. But whereas her earlier film, Monsoon Wedding, her international hit, celebrated, you know, thought of the world as a wedding. This is very much a post-September 11th film. This is more of a cultural retreat, I think, in a lot of ways. This is more like seeing the world as an arranged marriage, I guess.
That's very, very interesting. I'd like to say that what happens, to continue what I was saying before, that with these episodic scenes, what you hit are those generic moments we've seen in every single immigrant film.
Yeah, ever since like Jewish assimilation films in the 1950s, you know, it goes that far back.
Very true, very true. But there have great ones that you can put up to this. In America, Jim Sheridan's film, wonderful, original, individual looks at things, and of course Avalon, which just really turns this whole formula upside down.
Yeah, actually that would be like an interesting compare and contrast between those two films.
I'm still going to recommend this, but it could have been much better.
Me too, me too.